Let's have a look at some of the features that make DB Pro the best database client around. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up this demo SQLite database, and we're in the customers table here. So you can see we've got this really nice spreadsheet-like data table. So I can click and drag to select cells, and I can command click to select even more cells. Now, if I start selecting a row and then go up here and open the inspector, I can see that row in a nice vertical view, which I actually prefer. I've got some options up here as well. I can see them in a fields view, or I can click on the JSON tab to see this row in JSON. Or I can click on SQL and have a look at some SQL for inserting, selecting the row, updating, or deleting it. So really, really handy. Now let's have a look at inserting some data. So if I were to right click and then duplicate a row, we've got this inspector open again. And again, I can modify and update the data in a really nice vertical view, which I find to be a lot easier when inserting or modifying data. So I can just write Tracy here. If I click save, what that actually does is it marks it as a pending change. So this is one of our most liked features. It shows a almost like Git-like change log of what is happening. It's showing that this is going to be inserted. But if I were to change John to James, you can see that a new pending change is inserted, and we can see that the old value was John and the new value that's being added is James. And if you're a developer, you'll probably be very used to this style interface. So I can roll these back at any time. So next up, let's have a look at filtering. So if I open up the filter button here, I can use this popover as I would with any other kind of popover and drop down menu. I can select columns from here, or at the top here, I can actually write out my filter using kind of natural language. So if I start typing FI, so it detects the column. So first name, we've got autocomplete here, or L for last name and email. So if I were to type first name and then equals, well, actually, let's do first name contains, and we'll say LI. Now, if I hit enter and then apply, you can see it's finding Lisa or William. So it's a really quick and easy way of creating filters. Let's hop on over to writing a SQL query. So we've actually built the SQL editor from the ground up. So if I were to start writing a SQL query here, I can hit Command or Control and return, and I can see the results at the bottom. I can also add another SQL query to the same editor. So this time we'll select all from orders, and I can run that and see orders. Or I can drag and select both queries and run them, and then what it does is it creates two tabs for each result. So result 1 is for the first query, and result 2 is for the second query. Because I've run queries now, I can actually go up here and look at my query history. So if I click on this, I can see all of the queries that I've run in this table and in this connection. Next, we can import and export. So I can click on the button up here and have a look at, let's select customers. So if I wanted to export the customers, over on the right hand side, it shows a preview and it shows you exactly what's being exported. You can export that as CSV, JSON, or SQL. Next up, if you take a look on the left-hand side here, we've got two ways of viewing tables in a database. You've got A to Z or with tags. So if I go over to tags, let me close some of these down. So you can create a tag to categorize your tables, which is really useful. So you can see I've got report A here. Now I can look at my untagged tables and let's say orders. I can send that to report A. Now if I go back to my A to Z, you can see that the color of the tag is to the right hand side of the table. So you can very quickly and easily see what table is attached to what tag. Let's jump back to the SQL query editor for a second, and let me show you how you can save queries. So if I were to write this query and run it, I also have an option to save it. So you can save your most used or common queries to save you from having to write them out again. If I hit save, and let's say all orders here, I can also put them in folders as well. But I'm not going to put this one in a folder. So if I hit save and go over here to save queries, you can see all orders is there. If I close it down and then open it back up, I can run that query and it runs it again. We also let you create versions of queries as well and track versions. So if I click here, you can see the latest is that one there. But if I say select all from, I'll say from customers, and I'll save that, you can see now there's two versions. So the first version was orders, select all from orders, and the latest is from customers, but I can click on any version to go back to it and run that. So next, let me show you one of the more visually striking features of DB Pro, which is dashboards. So over here, I can click on dashboards, and then let me show you one I built earlier, so sales. We have loads of different kinds of widgets that you can add to a dashboard. So we've got metrics, we've got maps that you can scroll and zoom in and pan around on. We've obviously got charts, so bar charts and line charts, Spark charts here as well. So let me click into one of these and I'll show you all the different kinds here of widgets. And all you do is you simply write the SQL query that powers the data behind that widget. Once you've done that, the dashboard, if you click refresh, it will refresh and pull the latest data. Now, the last thing I want to show you is AI built into DB Pro. Now, this is completely optional. You can actually choose to disable AI completely in DB Pro when you first load the app, but also in the settings down here. But obviously I want to show you it, so I've enabled it. So up here on the right hand side, we've got AI Assistant. If I click up here, I'm going to open up a new chat. Now we've got every kind of model that we support in here. So let me show you. We've got all the Anthropic models, so Claude. We've got Open Router support as well, so every model that they support, obviously Google, obviously OpenAI models as well. But let me show you using Claude Sonnet. So what I can do is first say, help me write a SQL query to get all customers. Really, really easy. You can just send that and the AI will give me the query. The one thing that we've done deliberately is the AI in DB Pro can never run a SQL query. It's always up to the user. So the only thing it does is give you the query and it outputs it into this box that you can choose to click run or open in the editor. If I hit run, you can see the results kind of in line here. Also, I can ask it to create a dashboard. So let's create me a dashboard for let's create one for the orders table. So if I hit send there, so what it's going to do is look at the schema of that table. It will never look at the data in it. It just looks at the schema. And from that, it will construct a dashboard. So here we go. So if I now click create dashboard, that's it. It pops open the new tab and this is the dashboard that it's created. The last thing with AI I want to show you is we have it on the sidebar here, up there as you just saw, but also within inline in the SQL editor. So to enable it, all you do is you type slash. So now I can start talking to the AI and saying, you know, write me a query to get all, let's have a look, all reviews I run that, and there we go. So those were just a couple of features of DB Pro. We have lots more features in DB Pro. You can download it for free at dbpro.app. We've built it for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux, and we also have a web version as well that you can use. And yeah, thank you for watching the demo.